Yes, we're back, and there's no easy way to say that. We've been away for almost 5 months, and those months have been long and hard. So let's pick up where we left off. Last saw us, we were renovating this room, the old playroom, next to the salon. That's going to be a new guest dining room. Fortunately, shortly after the last vlog, Julian fell off a ladder and broke his hand. So it delayed us with things for a little while, and then our plans changed. We decided to finally get on with the most hated room in the chateau, for me anyway, and that was to be the old blue bathroom. Changed our plans because we've got a lot of bookings for renting out the whole of the chateau this year, and it was more important to focus on getting all that squared away so it'd be ready in time for guests. We will be returning to doing the dining room renovation in just 2 weeks' time, to watch this space. So I wanted to show you what it was really like when we first, well, not even when we first moved to the chateau, but when we'd actually been here 6 months and we were well into chaos territory. I don't think we've ever left it actually, but this is some of the footage that I've come across. This is one of our first ever vlogs, and the reason I'm showing you this is because it's going to show you now what the bedroom and the bathroom was like when we first started, and just really following along on how this has changed over the last 3 years. And this vlog is literally 1 day away from being 3 years to the day. It was the 13th of May 2020, well in lockdown. And as you've seen from the photos, we've started working in this section here. So this is the landing, and then that section there leads off to our bedroom, which is still only half painted, and then we've got a corridor down either side, Twins' bedroom down there, and Holly's makeshift bedroom down there. She's in a little double at the moment. Oh, there's Lily shouting. So this is where we're working on at the moment, Shadow the dog, and we're working on here because rather than just finishing off the hallway, because we've got the opportunity for some people to come and work with us now for a little while. So in preparation for that, we decided to halt the hallway and actually start on this section. So at least in the short term, they'll have somewhere to lay their head. But if we go down, and we've got big footsteps behind me. I believe that's Steve, who was helping us today, he's the electrician. Hi Steve, you okay? You're not pulling your hair out yet then?
No. I'm pulling their wires out.
Pulling lots of wires out, yeah, getting rid of some of the old wiring. Hi Julian.
Hello.
Hello, what are you up to at the minute?
Sorting this door out.
Sorting the door out. Yeah, so this is, you find that just one tiny job takes hours or sometimes even a couple of days, and So if I step back, I'm just trying not to fall over Shadow the dog. So if I step back, you can see the door. So it's a floor ceiling door and it goes onto this little balcony, which it's not really a balcony. It's just a balustrade really. I suppose you to allow you to, safety balustrade, allow you to have the doors open without falling out the window. Not too bad, so right, I'll come through here. So now this, wow, we haven't even touched this room at all. This is another one of the guest bedrooms. And this is almost the state that it was in when we bought the house. It's curtains, for want of a better word. I think that's a generous description. But when you see, it's pretty much the same footprint and layout as the guest bedroom that we started working on to the left. It's got some quirky features in here which we'll build on but make nice. Lovely arched doorway, crazy little light switches on the doorway, which Steve is, in the next couple of days, is taking those off and upgrading those. And then we come to this. This is crazy but quite normal in old houses in France and certainly chateaus as well. Instead of, so back in the day, instead of, sorry, what you can see here is a brick wall. But instead of sort of plastering, a lot of the time what they would do is they would literally just cover the wall with fabric. Now it feels like pebble dash sort of plastering, but it's very weird. But Steve's told us about that today, so we are going to cover it because as much as it's part of the history, it does not look nice and it doesn't make for a lovely cosy bedroom. And then moving over here, we've got another archway. Now, the doorway I've just showed you in what will be Holly's room, this is where that would have come into this room. So you just wonder why there was a doorway there in the first place. But I don't know, not going to guess. What I do like about this room, excuse my reflection there, is this. It's a beautiful little tapestry. It needs stretching out a little bit and put in a frame perhaps, but it's gorgeous. So whether that will stay in this room, I don't know, but yeah, it's got some work on it, as everything. Oh, now, okay, I don't even really want to show you this. This is just hideous. This is the bathroom. Just look at the state. Now, I don't know when this bathroom suite was fitted, but I'm guessing the 60s or 70s. And then there's the bath. It all functions, it all works, it's just hideous. So we'll be changing all the suite and everything in here. And it's a cute little fireplace as well. I don't like the brown, but we can definitely make something of that. And it really is a generous sized bathroom, as is the bedroom as well. So. A few weeks after that video was taken, we invited our first guest to the chateau, the old family who used to live here. Etienne and his family met for a reunion for a full week in the summer of 2020. And what a time they had. We really enjoyed hosting them. It was a mad rush to get ready. Things were just not quite up to standard, but they didn't care. They loved being at the chateau and it was great fun. Finally, a few weeks ago, with his hand almost fully recovered, Julian finally took out the blue bathroom suite, which will be repurposed, but not as a bathroom suite. Watch this space.
Hi.
How is it going?
It's going okay. Just
Another floor?
another floor, yes. Luckily no holes in this one.
No. So why are we replacing the floorboards then in here? These are the originals. However...
Because at some point we've had a fire.
Yeah.
And in particular these, or this section, which you can't really see because it's under tools and wood, has been burnt.
You can smell it, can't you? You've always been able to smell the smoke and the fire in here. And the boiler, when we moved here, the boiler that came with the chateau, one of the things that appealed to us about it was this is one of the towers of the chateau, and underneath here there is a wood burning boiler, an 84 kilowatt boiler, And we had dreams of being self-sufficient, didn't we?
Yep.
Because of all our woodland and everything we've got, and there was heating all throughout the chateau. And when we used to watch you remember the Chateau programmes on television, and we were like, oh, can you imagine how much it costs to heat a chateau? We'd never buy a chateau. No. So when we looked at this place and we fell in love with the land, we said, oh, actually, that's brilliant. With all the heating system, there was radiators in every room. Even in the attic, there was radiators. We were assured that the heating system worked.
22 degrees.
22 degrees in the winter in every room, and it was. We could see that they were using wood with the boiler. We could see it was in use, so there was no reason not to believe them. We stupidly didn't have it inspected, did we?
No.
We just didn't even think about having the heating system inspected, to be honest, because English couple, English family, and anyway. So we thought there must have been a problem with that wood boiler at some point, and that there was a fire, or all the smoke from the boiler, which wasn't secure, it wasn't safe, we found out later, was coming into this room. But we found out yesterday, didn't we, from Elizabeth, who came to see us, who used to live here for all her childhood, that this used to be where the servants used to cook. So in the room where we have the boiler now, the servants used to cook on an open fire below here. I don't know if you heard her saying this, but this is what she was explaining. And there was a fire that got out of hand, she was told, underneath here, and this is what burnt all the floor.
Oh, okay.
So even when she lived here, when it was owned by the original family, because obviously her father farmed here for 40 years, they rented the chateau and the farmland, and this whole section here was just put down to being condemned because of this floor and the fire. It was never used until the previous owners decided to turn it into a bathroom, but never replaced the floor. It just stinks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's
well, they must have had another fire because
it's
replaced some ceiling stroke flooring above there, which had been burnt as well.
Well, I think that's the same fire. It might have been the same fire, or who knows? Who knows? It could have. We don't know, because we have the chimney here, so it could have even come from this chimney. Who knows? Or they could have had the fire in the fireplace, which was probably above. Embers fell. I don't know. So anyway, after all that, what are you up to then?
Well, at the moment, I'm just trying to. I've used the first piece of original flooring. So I didn't want to take all the pipes off and then the skirting board. But they work on a tongue and groove system.
Right.
And the original
the floorboards.
The floorboards. So that's how they like slot together. And you nail on each where the beam is. But the original tongue is too big for the groove.
Yeah.
So I'm having to take about 1 millimetre off
the tongue.
So that I can fit the other piece of
I'm sorry for
the
laughing.
new piece of wood onto it.
Oh my god.
So it's taken probably an hour and a bit just to try and get this fitting.
Just onto the first floorboard, but after that it will be new
should
floorboards,
be
which will click together because of the same.
But just getting the level as well, right? So I'll have to slot something underneath where these beams, joists are weary.
I must admit, I am looking forward to this. This is the room. I think I've said we started this over a week, nearly 2 weeks ago, but we've had time in the farm since then, and it's a bit disjointed, which is why this vlog hasn't come out yet, because we wanted to make sure that there was a little bit of progress. And I think I've said on that vlog that this is one of the worst rooms. I've absolutely hated it. But I'm really looking forward to being able to walk on this floor and not feeling as if I'm afraid I'm going to fall through the thing. Which it's pretty secure still, isn't it? Even with all the berms. There's only a few pieces, isn't there? Yeah. There's this one here, which we've always been dubious of never standing on that one.
And there was a part here that was always a little bit
And we thought it was
bouncy,
but it was actually solid, wasn't it?
The joists are all right. I think it's just where the floor
The gap,
goes.
there's a gap in the. It didn't sit on the joist, I don't think. So you bounced, and we always thought we were going to fall through the floor, but I don't think that was the case, was it?
No.
But anyway.
Oh!
It's Josh. Anyway, okay. I'm
What's the tools? It's a bit of a minefield.
I should be in here with bare feet. So, right, I'm going to go out of here. And I just wanted to show one interesting thing that I just asked you about, which was this, wasn't it? I said, what is that? But it's earth, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that is the thickness. If we turn it around, so that is the thickness of the wall of the tower. And so you can see how they basically made the wall out of earth and mud and straw and everything else.
Well, it might not be that thick because you can see down the gap down there. There's nothing there.
Yeah, but it's a supporting wall. So it is that thick. Look. This is the equivalent. This is the supporting wall.
Yeah.
Because the chimney breast is on that, so it would have needed to have been that wide for the cavity of the chimney. So yeah, it is this. So funny, isn't it? An internal wall to be so thick like that. But anyway, right, I'll leave you to it.
Okay.
And we'll catch up soon. Heard the dog erratically barking. For the minute, here we are. Kitchen garden. And the farm is over that way. There's the outbuildings there, and the chateau is there. So, Chateau, leave it. I need to stop Chateau messing around. Put it down. No. Chateau has come across. This is some of our parkland. We leave it wild in spring for the early pollinators, and they'll have made the most of all these daffodils that have now gone to seed. All the daffodils that I've just finished and the dandelions that have gone to seed. I'll show you more about this in a minute, but for now I need to get Chateau off. Drop off of this hedgehog, which has protected itself in a nice little tight ball. No, not harmed at all. But Chateau goes mad when he finds one. He just doesn't understand. Leave it! Does not understand what is going on. Is it a football? Is it an animal? Does not know. And then tries to pick it up, hurts himself. It's just a vicious circle. So I'm going to try and get this off the dog, and I'll come back to you in a second. I am now in the start of the Chateau's parkland, trying to rescue a hedgehog. Because one of the reasons that we leave a lot of our acreage as wild spaces is for wildlife like this. So let's just try and see if we can, if it's okay. It looks alive, but I'm going to move it to the orchard. Okay, so it's breathing. It probably doesn't hear me or detect me. And it's still curled up in a ball, which is ideal for me to move it. So to prevent this poor little creature getting stressed anymore, I'm going to pick it up and let's move it. You can see the poor little thing. I know it seems strange to be going to all this trouble for this little creature, but they are fantastic, and in certain parts of England they're so rare now. Not so rare here, but they're so shy that it isn't common. Well, it's common here. It's not always common to see them, let's just say. So trying to do our bit and get this moved to somewhere safe. So here he is. He, all nice and safe. And he's tucked away just in the start of our orchard here, which goes on for a while. And that's for another episode. And this is the meadow that we're eventually going to be starting this autumn and really starting to make this into a food forest. So that'll be the first start that we do with it this autumn, and planting more young trees and their accompaniments, their shrubs and everything else underneath them. Again, more about that on another episode.